What's going on, guys, and welcome to the TEBOOK tutorial right here. I'm going to show you guys how I set it up, what is the best depth chart to use for this, and how it can become the most effective while doing this. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to our depth chart and show you how we set it up. We're going to go with the Raiders for this example. Because they have by far the fastest team in the league, and they have a lot of weapons that make it very easy to use this. So obviously you want your fastest quarterback to be in the game. So Terrell Pryor has a 90 speed. He's a big guy, 6'6", 235 pounds. So he's a big quarterback who falls forward, and but more importantly, he can outrun people. So that right there is big. You can definitely break off a couple of big runs with him due to his speed. And the running back position really doesn't matter, just due to the fact that your running back will not be in the depth chart on that formation. But if you have somebody fast like McFadden, he can become your running back while you're handing it off. So like when I play with the Jets, I was handing it off to Santonio Holmes because he was the fastest player there. He was the fastest receiver. He was faster than the running back, so I went ahead and used him. But when you have McFadden, you want to utilize him. You want to keep him on the field because he's such a dominant, fast runner. So what we're going to do is we're going to bench him, and we're going to put, anybody there. We're going to put Goodson there. Now, fullback, you're going to have a fullback and one running back in that formation. So for fullback, what we're going to do is we're going to put a tight end here who's going to be good at blocking, and he's going to be able to catch the ball pretty well. So we're going to remove Myers from here, and we're going to put in Osbury just for now, and we're going to go back, and we're going to put our number one tight end at the fullback position. Now this is good because, one, your tight end is going to be able to block, and two, your tight end is always going to be a better catcher than your fullback. So that right there is important for when you want to throw the ball. You have, a Greg Olsen or a Jeremichael Finley or, a Selleck or some, really good guys back there who can block and catch the ball for you. Now receiver, this is where you want to put your best runner at the number one spot. So there's only going to be one receiver on the field. So what we're going to do is we're going to put McFadden at the number one receiver. Now we put him here because he is going to be the end around runner. Now if you play with, let's say, the Jets, Santonio Holmes is better here than, let's say Knight or Green because he's faster. He can hit that edge and he can take off a lot quicker than the other guys. But if you have, let's say, somebody like the Vikings, you want to put Adrian Peterson here because he is your best runner. So you want to put your best runner. This is also good with teams, with fast quarterbacks, but not really a good running back. Like, again, when I use the Jets, I use Santonio Holmes in that position, because he's faster. But, you don't want to put a receiver over a dominant running back such as, the Raiders, or you would the Vikings, or, other players like that. So the other receivers, you want to put your best two or fastest receivers, or however you want to use it, not in your top four. So in this case, we're going to use Ford and Bay. We're using them because they are our fastest receivers, and they have blazing speed that can outrun pretty much anybody on the field because there's not too many cornerbacks that can keep up with their speed. They have great speed at 98 and 97, but look at their acceleration, also 96 and 97. So they're hitting that top speed damn near right away. As soon as you hike the ball, they are already hitting their top speed. So that right there is key. So you want them to be out of your top four. And I tell you that because when you go to your tight end position, both your tight ends, your top two tight ends, will be in the formation as well. Now, you can sometimes manually sub them out for better blocking, but I like to keep it like this. That way, when I'm ready to pass, they're on the field. So I'll put Ford as my number one tight end and Bay as my number two. So what the formation is going to do is it's going to give us Terrell Pryor at quarterback. Our running backs is actually going to be 2 fullbacks because it doesn't allow you to have a running back there. I mean, you can sub one in, but their overall is going to be a lot lower because it's technically a fullback. So our 2 fullbacks are going to be Myers, and then we're going to sub in Jones because he's very fast. We're going to sub in Jones because he can outrun whoever's needing him. So he has great speed, so we're going to sub him there. Now, you can put, 2 fullbacks if you feel like it's going to give you better blocking, but this is what I prefer, to do because I like to pass out of that formation a lot too. And I have a lot of gameplays of using this formation of passing effectively because they assume the run is coming. And when you do the run a lot and you're able to hit them with the pass, you catch them off guard with this stuff. And, trust me, I got a lot of messages, people saying, oh, this is easy to stop, this is yada, yada, yada. Now, this is somebody who can just start off with the scheme and understand the basics of a scheme and how it works. Set up a depth chart to a unique way that works for that formation, and also call audibles mainly out of that same formation. And that's basically how you start up a scheme. Find a formation that you like, find multiple plays in that formation, throw them all in your audible package, and being able to call any play that you want from a no-huddle stance and be able to keep your defender off guard. Now, right here again is another look at how I set it up. Our quarterback is going to be Pryor. Our blockers at the fullback position is going to be Myers, and then the other one I'm going to put Jones in there because he's fast and I can pass to him. So I got 2 guys out of the backfield who is really good at passing. My wide receiver, my number 1 wide receiver is going to be Darren McFadden. Whenever I decide to hike the ball on an end around, we're going to be able to give the ball to McFadden. He's quick, he's fast, and it's really effective with a fast guy. Not to mention he's one hell of a runner. Now, our tight ends that are going to be on the field, we got 2 of them, are going to be Ford and Bay. Now, they are there because they have excellent hands, and when we decide to pass, we don't have, one decent tight end and one backup tight end. No, we have 2 of our stud receivers there that are going to be able to help us out in the passing game, especially with the streaks, the zig routes, and some slants. These guys are going to be great because, for one, they're 100%, they're going to have linebackers matched up on them. So whether it's a zone or man coverage, these are the guys you're going to be looking for. And then also when you're passing, you still have McFadden out in that receiver slot. So he's somebody you still can look for with pretty good hands, and also he's fast. So you want to be able to give the ball to these guys, and that's pretty much it. So we're going to go ahead and run through our audibles real quick and show you how it is we set that up. So let me see if it's something like last year where we can preset it up so I can show you guys. Okay, offensive audibles. Okay, now we're going to go to the Jets playbook. Yeah, man, I don't care. Let's go. Okay, we're going to go to the Jets playbook. It's taking us forever because it takes like 9 seconds to fresh through the new team. I mean, come on. We're almost there. I see a J. Okay. Now, this is how I like to set it up. Now, you guys can use any type of different variations that you guys like, but this is what I like to do. Very first formation that I like to do is the shotgun, jet heavy, and we start off with jet power. Now, this is good because as soon as you hike the ball, there's no handoff, there's no fake play action. You're just taking off immediately. And, this is good to keep off guard. As you guys see in my videos, I've had lots of great runs. This formation seems to be, big. There's a lot of formations in the Carolina playbook where a lot of people are taking off with the quarterbacks, and it can be frustrating and it can be deadly at times. And this is the one play in this playbook that you're going to use to just take off with, the running back without any razzle-dazzle, without a fake end around or something like that. So the QB power is direct, snap, and haul. That's exactly what it is. You hike and haul. As soon as you snap the ball, you just take off and you run. The second one that we're going to do that I like to put is the power fake jet. Now, this is an end around that's going to be a play action, and then you take off with the quarterback. Now, this is good because when you call in your jet sweeps repeatedly, then you know, when you're doing end around, you like to keep them off guard. So as soon as they see that running back, that wide receiver in motion, they're going to assume that you're running to the right. So it's good to be able to have just one play where you fake and then you can take off with the quarterback. So that's the second one that I like to do. Now the third one that I like is the actual end around. Is the jet sweep. You know, I like to do this because as soon as you hike the ball, this is your play that you're going to use with your receiver that's going to be able to take off. Hi, baby. Yeah. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Say hello.
Hello.
Say I'm cool.
I'm cool.
Good job. As you can see, my baby is excited for this. So the third one we like to do is the jet sweep. You say jet sweep.
That's
Good try. Okay, the jet sweep is what we like to do because that is going to be the end around that we use, and that's going to be the play that we go to McFadden, the play that you've seen to Santonio Holmes. That's just the end around. That's, you know, good. You get some decent blocking on there, you can hit the outside and you can take off. I've probably scored well over 20 touchdowns just off this play alone. You know, as soon as you hike it, you hit the outside. You're really only gonna, if the blocking is right, you're really only gonna have to worry about one person, which is the safety. That's the last person, the last defender, and you know, just one cut to the inside, one cut to the outside, one wiggle, and they're pretty much done. You know, and especially if you have somebody really fast. And just these three plays alone, I've scored lots and lots of touchdowns, caused lots of confusion, lots of frustration. Now the last two plays I like to use is I like regular passing plays. I like to keep it back in a single back formation. I like to go to the bunch, and I like to go to my wide trail play. Now this is a play that I like to do when I'm doing no huddle. Obviously, if I just break off a run and I no huddle directly into the wide trail play, the defender has not enough time to see that I switched in. By the time all my guys hit the line of scrimmage, they are already in position for this formation, and he pretty much has no time to adjust. You know, he's preparing for the run a lot. And he sees this, and I catch a lot of catch. Go ahead, throw. Good throw. And I catch a lot of people, you know, off guard with this. Now, this is a good passing play, and you're going to have good receivers on the field. You're going to have Bay. You're going to have your best tight end. You're going to have Ford. You're going to have Jones, and you're also going to have McFadden still on the field. So you're still going to have really, really, really great people on your field to pass the ball to. So that's the formation I like to go to when I need to pass, when I'm no huddling. And then I like to call another play out of that same formation. Oh, did I just mess up? I think I just messed up. I backed out by mistake. So we're just going to... oh, never mind. It's saved. Okay, that's what's up. So we go back to the same formation, the bunch. And what I like to do is... Now, whenever you audible from this formation into a run, it's going to switch you into the sprint. So you don't need that right there. This is my favorite running play from this formation. Hi, baby. And, yeah, can you say scheme?
Scheme.
And say T-bow.
T-bow.
T-bow. Good job. And, okay. My baby wants to let you know how good this stuff works too. So, so whenever you audible into a run, you know the pre-snap runs is going to go to the HB sprint, which is good. So what I like to do from here is I like to do the HB fake end around. Now this is good whenever you have man-to-man because the person... sorry, we got a little... Did I mess up again? Okay. We got a little distracted from our baby there, so make our wife take him just for a second just so we can finish this off for you guys. Okay, so the last play I do is that same formation again from the bunch. Is either I like to do the end around or the fake end around. Now I like the end around because really quick is, you know, he's really close to the quarterback already. So it's not like a long dragged out end around like from the jet heavy formation where it's going to take 5 seconds for the receiver to get to the quarterback. And by the time he gets it, he can make an adjustment. As soon as you hike the end around, the play is like a half a second. So trust me, the guy doesn't even have enough time to react to the end around. So I like to call this right here in the formation. You know, as soon as you hike the ball from this formation, you do an end around real quick. And again, this is another play you can take off. If the blocking is right, you're going to take off. So, and the play you want to come out in is always a passing play. Because when you're no huddling, you know, you already have the basically a 6th play that you can call, then you audible into another one. So I always come out from the jet heavy. I come out in this play right here, the play action jet sweep. Now notice the 2 tight ends, how they are posting. Now I like to keep either one on the outside post. I usually keep the A. So A is going to be our 2nd tight end, so that's going to be Ford. No, that's going to be Bay. Bay is going to be on that outpost. I'll instead of X doing that, I'll put him on a zig route, on the outside zig route. RB is going to be Myers, so you have your tight end going over the middle. Y, you can put him on whatever you're going to be. That's going to be Jones. B is our first tight end. Now that's going to be Ford. Now I like to put him on a zig route or a streak. And you know, when you come out in this play, you can audible to the jet power. You can audible to the power fake. I keep on hitting the B button. I don't know why. I apologize for that. But you can audible into these 3 different plays right here. So you have 4 plays from this one formation that you basically have working for you guys. So that is the play I like to come out in. That way I can audible into a pass. Now you guys know as soon as you hit the X button, you already have preset audibles. Like you have your deep pass, your short pass, whatever. So you can audible into a pass. Now don't think you know, how am I going to pass from this formation? All you got to do is come out in this formation right here, and then, you know, do some hot routes, and then you have your passes. Or, you know, you could hit deep pass and you automatically change into, I think your deep pass is going to be the Z streak or wide receiver corners, one of those. So you can audible into passes and, you know, just keep them off guard, you know. And this is the formations I like to run, I like to use, and things like that. So we're going to head into a quick game and show you guys how it looks. Okay, we're going to go to play now. We're going to go with the Raiders. That's the team we set everything up with. Okay. Oh, man, it really doesn't matter. I'm just showing you the formations. Advanced settings, the New York Jets playbook. And ready. Now I'm going to show you, you know, how it looks, the different things, how you can come out and things like that. And I've been having tons of fun with this, guys. Like, it's just been, excuse me, so much fun, you know, and I've been having an absolute blast since, you know, discovering this. And I know it's frustrating. There's nothing better than breaking off such a large run with your quarterback and being able to switch it up. And there's plenty of times where they have everybody rushing the lineman. They hit run commit, but psych, it's a pass play, and I got somebody wide open on the streak, and I'm just calling the right plays at the right times, and, you know, reading correctly. And all you need really is one good block on the end around, and you are gone. If you hit that outside, if you got somebody with enough speed, you are going to be gone. He gone, as Master Chappie would say. Now, also, I'm going to be doing another Ticks and Trips video very soon. I want to say probably tomorrow. May even do another one today. I'm not sure. You know, I've showed you guys some tips. Now it's time to show you guys some tricks on, you know, a lot of things I do to confuse the defender sometimes. Okay, so we're just going to do this. Now, let me see if I can remove the play clock. Did I say play clock? The play clock for you guys, so I have enough time to actually show you guys everything. Settings. Penalty. No, I don't care about penalties. Okay, play clock off like a boss. I don't need no play clock. Get out of here. Okay, so I come out in my formation from the jet heavy. Now, as soon as you start, your backup quarterback is always going to start. Now, this is for the Jets. It's already pre-made for Tim Tebow. So you always have to put in the quarterback that you want. The second quarterback is always going to start off in that formation. So that's key. You know, if you got the Jets, if you got the Eagles, don't think Michael Vick is already there. You have to manually put him in. Your backup quarterback starts off in that position. So from the jet heavy, I like to come out and play action jet sweep. Now, as soon as I come out, Now from this formation, if I want to pass, I like to put X on the zig route, like that. Now A, I always want to leave on that post, because that post can be absolutely deadly, especially having a quick receiver from that position right there. Now forward from the right, I like to put him either on a zig or I like to put him on a flat. Now Myers, I like to put him on an out route or a streak. Use your own variations on how you like to use it. Why? I forgot to manually put Jones in, but him as well, I like to put him on a streak. And now if I'm streaking one of these guys, obviously the other guy is on an out route. So if I'm streaking Myers, I'm putting, Jones or whoever's going to be there on an out route. So the play will look, something similar to this. Or sometimes I like to do, something like that. Have both my out guys on a zig, have one deep post, one deep streak, and one simple out route. Or you can, these two inside guys, you can actually motion them out. Now they are allowed to go on a zig route, because if you try zig route from here, they're going to be on a simple flat. So once you motion them, bam, now he can be on a zig route. So now I can put Ford on the inside slant and have Myers on a zig route, or a simple, just change it real quick, put this guy on a zig route, and then Bay put him on an inside slant, something like that. Now there's a lot of different variations. Now this is the play I like to come out in, but if I'm going to run the ball, you simply hit more and then jet sweep, we audible. Now you always want to run block commit towards the right, because that is the side you're going to be running on. Now as soon as you call this play, you want to try and hit that outside. If you're blocking his right, bam. If you're blocking his right, you can take off. Now unfortunately I was out of bounds, but the biggest thing about this is no huddling. No huddle, and then you're able to do some things like, okay, we're going to do the jet sweep again, block to the right. Okay, see, this is something I like to do too. Now, you see how there's extra defenders over there to the right. So I feel like if I run to it, I'm going to get stopped. So that left looks pretty, decent. So what I'll do is I'll switch to the jet power, the quick hike and haul. But, of course, the computer recognizes it and already does it. But, oh, no, they went back. So I like to block to the left, and I like to take off and run to the left. And hopefully, if your blocking is decent, it's not going to work all the time, trust me. But if your blocking is decent, like if he got caught up, I would have hit that outside. I would have been gone. So, that's how I like to, mix it up. But again, when you go to that jet sweep, all you need is one good block, and you are just gone. You see how quick he is, no huddle. And then, I'm gonna go quickly into the passing play. Just make some adjustments. We got McFadden. Look at that. Bam. That post right there is deadly. Just that one post from that one tight end. That's why, I always come out on this play, because I can already hike the ball from there. They kill lots of people from that one post from this one formation. You drop back, you're looking. Of course it helps if your quarterback can throw. Terrell Pryor is fast, but his speed, as you can see, he was wide open. That right there was if it wasn't a touchdown, it was close to it. So you want to know huddle, you want to keep them off guard. You call this play, you hit that outside, and again, it's not going to work every time, but for the majority of the time, I can tell you, I want to say, oh, look at this right here. We definitely want to run to the right here. Definitely want to run to his right or up the middle somewhat. But, you tweak around with it. You have some fun, and you definitely can find a variation that's going to work for you. And, of course, Terrell Pryor sucks, but basically, that's how it works. I know those right there weren't very great examples of me breaking off long runs, but as you see from my online gameplays and stuff like that, the stuff can be effective. You just work. I mean, trust me, for all you guys who think it so easily stop the rubber, try it. Trust me, I've been trying it, and I've lost one game using it. I'm like 6-1 using it so far, and I suggest just give it a shot. It's fun. Try it out. Let me know what you guys think. As always, this is your boy, Mr. Golden Sports, signing out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is the mini scheme that I've been using so far, and it's lots and lots of fun. And I'm out. Peace.